Alright, dude, so we are back, of course, with some Final Fantasy VII Remake content, using some Crisis Core cinematics in the background, because I don't like using the same trailers and gameplay over and over, and without them releasing the demo publicly, I can't capture original gameplay to use in the backgrounds of my videos. Anyways, we're here to talk about a subject that I actually wasn't expecting, because it's something I completely forgot about when it came to Final Fantasy VII Remake, and was reminded by a post over on Reddit. And it's about whether or not the game is still going to feature stealth scenarios, stealth mechanics, because that was actually a thing back when this screenshot was revealed in 2017. I'd honestly completely forgot about this because it's so old. Again, it's like 3 years ago. I did a video covering this and the other screenshot that came out at the same time. It's actually a really good question because in the past 9 months since the State of Play trailer, which was our first info for the game in a very, very long time, we've had all kinds of different gameplay and trailers and marketing for the game. They've not mentioned stealth mechanics at all, or even the ability to go into cover. That's really what it was, more so than stealth mechanics, was just a cover feature, but because you could get behind stuff, you could wait for enemies to walk by and you could sneak past them. You didn't have to engage in fights. So the way Nomura explained it back in 2017 is, in the story, in situations where you're sneaking around, you won't just be able to march down the middle of the path. The original version had random encounters, and such parts were in the realm of imagination, but since this title is seamless and you see the path that you're infiltrating, I decided it was necessary for the sake of realism. You can use it in ways such as to hide in cover until enemy soldiers move along, or to throw a grenade from cover to annihilate the enemy. Of course, those who find it bothersome can just throw themselves into the fight. It was also kind of implied that Barrett could maybe fire from cover or something. He's asked, can Barrett also use cover actions? And Nomura replies with, he can. While I can't say any details just yet, there is a special element in Gunners, which to me sounds like he could fire over walls and things. But obviously, if you've been paying attention to the marketing of the game over the past 9 to 10 months, there's been no mention of cover, of stealth, of Barrett being able to fire over walls and from behind cover, or anything like that. If anything, you're pretty much always forced into fights. Enemies are always in your path. You have to fight them. There's no avoiding them. Outside of the actual flee button, being able to run from battles like every other Final Fantasy. But besides that, you can't just sit back and wait for enemies to walk away from you and sneak past them. That's not an option, at least from what we've seen. And what Nomura says in the interview makes a lot of sense. When it comes to the bombing missions, us blowing up the Mako reactors, we're trying to sneak in. So why would we go in guns blazing, fighting every single enemy possible? We should have the option to sneak around as well. I did see some people on this Reddit post saying they think it'll be in the game because we use cover in the Scorpion Sentinel boss fight, but it's not the same thing. All we're doing in this scenario is just standing behind the debris until he destroys it, and then we run up and keep fighting him. That's it. We're not crouched behind it. We're not using it as actual cover. We're not hugged up against it like a wall. This is an action you have to initiate, right? There's not a crouch button in the game. There's not like a jump button in the game. We don't have that kind of freedom with Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is something you have to initiate, similar to climbing a ladder, mantling over things, or climbing in and around debris. This is just standing. And as always, when it comes to videos like this, we're working with the information we have of the game currently. They have not talked about using cover or stealth mechanics at all for the remake in the past year or so. And when that screenshot came out and that Tetsuya Nomura interview came out, the game was being developed by CyberConnect 2. About 2 to 3 months after that is when they got rid of CyberConnect 2 and brought the development in-house. Now, we don't know exactly how much was scrapped from what CyberConnect 2 did, but if you compare the footage from back in 2015 to now, it's a very different game. So they seemingly had to start mostly fresh, and maybe that's why we haven't heard anything about stealth mechanics or cover or anything like that, because maybe that's a feature that just dropped entirely. Now, when it came to the original game, there are 2 instances of stealth that I can think of. One, sneaking out of Aerith's house where you gotta walk slowly so she doesn't hear you. And then, of course, sneaking past the guards in the Shinra building. So assuming they want to replicate both of these scenes when it comes to this first game in the remake project, we should have some sort of stealth/sneaking mechanics, but they've not talked about that yet. But at the same time, neither one of these actually require a crouching mechanic or a crouching feature. You just have to walk slowly for Aerith, and you have to move quickly from statue to statue with the Shinra building. And I personally feel like if there was still a cover feature in the game, they would have been marketing that and talking about that for a different style of play, right? But they've not mentioned that at all. And if you happen to watch the demo footage out there, the leaked demo footage, there's nothing about cover in that. Now, it's possible that it's a feature that comes into the game later on, or it's a feature that's in the full game but not the demo. But still, so far when it comes to Final Fantasy VII Remake, we have nothing about cover or stealth as of right now. So of course I want to pass off to you guys. What are your thoughts on this, man? Because this is something I completely forgot about. Again, that screenshot is like 3 years old, almost to the day actually. It's not even something I thought about or considered since we really made the channel focused on Final Fantasy VII Remake. Again, it's a feature I completely forgot about. So what are your thoughts? Do you think we're going to have a crouching cover mechanic? Do you think there's going to be some stealth scenarios? Or have we kind of seen everything the game has to offer? It's pretty linear from what we've seen in the gameplay. Either way, leave your thoughts and more in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and want to stay updated with more Final Fantasy VII Remake content. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter at @dashingdavid. I'm a Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys. Or at least let's like a child, give me serenity. Or at least just peace of mind.